Hello, this is Saki from Saki Tech. In today's video, I will share over 50 tips and tricks for the Apple Watch. Whether you already have the Apple Watch or dying to get one, this video will go over many tips, tricks, and some hidden features to show you the capabilities of this watch and turn you into an expert. Before we dive in though, be aware that the Apple Watch requires an iPhone for full functionality. They work hand in hand to give you an immersive experience. So what you do is you download the Apple Watch app to your iPhone and then make sure you pair it to your watch. Once pairing is complete, you are in business. So let's dive right in and explore the Apple Watch. Alright, so tip number one is how to enable the Grayscale mode on your Apple Watch. So this setting is only accessible from the My Watch app on your iPhone. What you want to do is you want to launch the app, and this is the main screen, and then simply go into General, go to Accessibility, and turn Grayscale mode on. And once you do that, your Apple Watch is simply going to turn black and white across the board. So this is called the Grayscale mode. So as you can see, when I pull up the glances, all these glances are in fact black and white. Pull down notifications, all black and white. And if you want to turn it back on to color, simply turn that feature off and your colorful world is back. Alright, so tip number two has to do with your font size on your Apple Watch and the boldness of the text. You can change both. So what you want to do is you want to tap the crown, bring up the app menu, and then from here just go to settings, and from settings scroll down and go to where it says brightness and text size. So when you tap this, it's going to allow you to change the text size just like that, or you can change the boldness. So you can make sure your fonts are more bold so you can see them easily. But if you do this, it's going to ask you to restart your watch. Alright, so some of you guys are probably wondering how come the digital crown is actually sitting on the left side over here. What I have done is I have changed the orientation of this screen. So to do that, you simply go into the settings, and under General, you go into where it says Orientation. Once you're here, you want to look at the menu that says Crown. If you tap right, that's going to flip the screen permanently. So the crown, if the watch is sitting on your left hand, you can have the crown facing towards the right. But if you want the crown showing up on the left side, then you can change the orientation just like this, and you can wear the watch on your right hand with ease. So just so you know, this is an option you guys do have. Now, one of the big features on the Apple Watch is what's called glances. This is scannable summaries of the information you view most frequently. So what you want to do is you want to swipe up from the bottom, and then brings up the glances. And then you can swipe through the glances, and as you can see, here's the music controller, here's the power activity monitor, here is the weather information, and here you have the quick toggle, so you can unmute and mute your phone. You can actually tap this icon here. That's going to ping your iPhone. Okay, so if you lose your iPhone, you can tap this button right here, and that's going to ping your iPhone, and you can go grab it real quick. And then you also have, you can turn on and off the airplane mode, and you can also turn on and off the do not disturb mode. So if you have this on, you can go to sleep and don't have to worry about any kind of notifications bothering you. And if you just have it off, then you can get any kind of notification that you do want to get. Now, as you can see, there's a lot of information over here, okay? And you may not need all of this. So here's the activity monitor, here's the heart rate sensor, here's the music controls, and everything else we just showed you. What you can do is you can go into the My Watch app on your iPhone, and you can basically just tap on glances, and from here you can actually delete the glances that you do not want. So let's say that I don't want the heartbeat and activity glances. I tap this, remove, tap this, remove, and they do go to the bottom here, so you can always re-add them if you want to. Okay, so as you can see, there's a lot more options here. Okay, so you can add all these glances to your Apple Watch. So if I go back into my Apple Watch now, if I go back up, I'm only going to have weather, battery, music controller, and stocks, and nothing else. Okay, so you can customize this as you please using the My Watch app on your iPhone. At the same time, when you launch a glance, if you tap that glance, it takes you to the corresponding application for that glance. So we're looking at the weather glance. If you tap it, it takes you into the weather app, which is really nice actually. So there's a quick tip on the weather app as well. You can tap and it changes the display. You have 3 different modes. So you get this mode right here. You've got this mode, which is the basic mode, and again this guy. Another way to do this is if you press and hold the Apple Watch, you can also pick the different displays, the condition display, the percentage rain display, and the temperature display, which is the default. Okay, just want to share with you guys that quick tip. And obviously, as we have said, there's a quick glance here. If you swipe over, you can control the music on your iPhone, and you can control the volume here as well. So volume down, and as you can see, it changes on the actual phone. Let's keep this up, and if you press play, it's going to start playing the music that you have currently playing. Pause, go to the next track, and such. Pull that down, and you're back in business. Now let's quickly talk about the watch faces. I'm sure you guys heard a lot about the watch faces, but there's a lot to do with these guys. Now first of all, if you do a force touch, which means you have to firmly press on the screen, that brings up the menu from where you can swipe between different apps. And if the apps are customizable, the watch faces are customizable, you can tap customize and you can change various settings. To change the settings, what you do is you twist the crown. So as you can see, you can change the color. You can change the blue to purple. And then if you swipe to the right, then you can change the individual component on the watch face. For example, here we have the battery meter, but we can change that to something else, like the stopwatch. Okay? So battery meter, you got the world clock, and you got the other options right over here. If you have a couple cities added on the world clock application, then all those cities will show up right here, and you can see the abbreviations for each city. Okay, and then you can come over here. We have the date over here. This is called a monograph. So you can set a monograph for your phone. In my case, I just use my last name, which is Saki, and that's going to show up right in the middle. So let me just show you real quick. So in the middle, we've got the monograph. How do you set the monograph? The monograph is set through your iPhone My Watch app. Alright, so to add a monogram, you go to your My Watch application, you scroll down to where it says clock, you go right inside, and from here you can customize the monogram by tapping right over here and writing whatever you want. So you can have a bunch of characters over here, but as soon as you put that there, then you can go back to your Apple Watch, and if the watch face allows you to add a monogram, then you can put it right there. And as you can see, it looks fantastic. This is a great way to personalize your watch face. Okay, and there's so much more to the Apple Watch faces. So let me just show you one thing really quick. If you go over to this one right over here, this is the jellyfish, flowers, and butterflies app, watch face I mean. So tap and hold, customize, and you have 3 options. You can pick from the flowers, you can pick from the butterflies, and let me just show you what it means, what you can do with these different watch faces. So let's pick this one. And basically what happens is, every single time you tap on the screen, or when you turn on your phone, your watch I mean, it's gonna show you a different butterfly. So if you tap this, we have a brand new blue butterfly. And even the background color of the date actually changes to match the butterfly's color. And then again, you can do the same with the jellyfish. So if you have the jellyfish right here, you'll be seeing a different jellyfish every single time you tap on your iPhone. And these animations are amazing, okay? There's no lag, there's no pixelation, it simply looks gorgeous. And of course, you've got all these different watch faces, and you can also interact with each face. So as you can see, when I tap on the date, it takes me to the calendar. Alrighty. So if I'm on a more advanced watch face, right here, any of the things that I add here myself, like I told you, you can go in, customize every single one of these things. Alrighty, so I have a stopwatch right there. I've got the weather right here. I've got the sunset and sunrise time right over here. But the good news is you can tap these things and they will take you to the corresponding app, and then you simply tap the crown to go back into the watch. And the other thing is, if you don't want a watch face, you simply swipe up, and that allows you to delete that watch face. So swipe up, delete, swipe up, delete. And when you want, you can just add them right back over here. And this way you can organize the best styles that you want right over here. Another thing you can do that is pretty amazing is you can assemble a collection of your own custom watch faces. How do you do that? Basically, you want to press and hold when you're in the watch face interface, and you scroll all the way to the left, and you press plus, and that's going to allow you to add another watch face. Now, how do you assemble a custom watch face? Let's add this guy right over here. Okay, so you have the butterfly. Let's say you also want the flowers available. So you tap and hold. You go over here. You press plus. Go down. Add the butterfly again. Tap and hold. As you can see, we now have two of these guys, but one of them I want to keep as the flowers, which is going to be right here. Alrighty, so you can have as many customized watch faces as you want on your Apple Watch, as long as it's available. Now, as you can see, your Apple Watch allows you to use Siri. So if you double tap the crown, that would bring up Siri, and you can talk into it. Just double tap it. I'm sorry, tap and hold the crown, and that will bring Siri, and Siri will help you out. Okay, so it misheard what I said. And the other thing you can do is you can enable your watch to simply bring up Siri anytime you say, "Hey Siri." To do that, again, press the crown, go into settings, go to general, go to where it says Siri, and from here you can enable the Hey Siri option. So anytime you say that, it should bring up Siri, and you can do a quick search if you need to. Okay, so the next tip has to do with how to control the camera using your Apple Watch. So basically, there's a camera app right over here. You launch the camera app, and that's going to bring the viewfinder for your phone. So whatever I'm looking at through my phone, the watch will show you, and if you want to take a quick shot, you just press this button, and that takes a snapshot on the phone. Alrighty, as you can see, I'm looking at the actual watch. Here's my hand, and if I press this button, it gives you a 3-second timer. So 3, 2, 1, boom. Takes a screenshot on the spot. And every photo you take using this option gets saved into the camera roll right on your iPhone, obviously. Now, another thing you can do with the camera is, let me launch the camera one more time. And let me launch the application over here. Go into grab the camera. And by tapping on the screen, you can actually change the focus. Alrighty, so if you want to focus on something, you can tap your Apple Watch, and that's going to change the focus on the actual phone's camera, which is not a bad feature at all. So if I want to focus over here, just tap right over there. If I want to focus on this right here, focus right over there, and then snap the picture. That's a fantastic feature. Now just remember one thing, to use your Apple Watch as a remote control for the phone's camera, you have to be within the Bluetooth range, which is going to be 33 feet or 10 meters, okay? So if you elapse a distance larger than that, the connection is not going to work properly. The other thing has to do with the notifications. So obviously when you go pull down this, it shows you all the notifications if you have any. And if you want to make sure that people don't see every notification on your watch, because people will be looking at your watch, trying to play with it, you know, they'll be fascinated by it or whatever, what you want to do is you want to go to notifications on your Apple Watch app and make sure that you enable notification privacy. So this still is going to show you that you have a notification, but it's not going to broadcast exactly what it is if somebody else is looking at your watch. And a related and nice feature is the notifications indicator. If you have this turned on, every single time you have a notification on your Apple Watch, you're going to see a tiny red dot right on the top here. Very convenient. It says that you have a notification, and then if you do, you can simply pull this down to see what it is. Okay, but if you turn this off, that red dot is not going to appear even if there's hundreds of notifications waiting for you. So that's a nice indicator. And by the way, this is the red dot I was talking about. So if you have a notification, that tiny red dot displays right on the top, telling you that in fact you have a notification waiting. And if you swipe it down, you'll see it right there. And then again, if you press and hold, that allows you to clear all the notifications. Tap, boom, they're all gone. And as you can see, the red dot disappeared. Now the Apple Watch comes with some nice apps. One of them is the stopwatch. So if you go into the stopwatch, here's what I like about this. You actually have 4 different interfaces you can play with in the stopwatch. So let's start, and then let's do a lap. Now this is the digital interface, but if you stop this, press and hold, firm press, don't just tap and hold, do the firm hold. It gives you all these different options you can choose from. You can pick the hybrid display, gives you a graph, some digital interfaces, and some analog interfaces. If you, again, firm press and hold, you can do the analog, which is this one right here, as you can see. Or you can have the graphical representation. There you go. Lap, lap. This is a pretty fantastic application. This is the kind of apps I want to see on the Apple Watch. And one more thing you can do is you can change the app layout. So if you go over here, you have your app layout as usual. There's 2 ways to do it. One of them, you can do it through the My Watch app. You go to app layout and you simply grab anything you want and you push it to where you want it. And as you can see, in real time, it changes it on the your watch as well. And you can do the same thing on your Apple Watch. You simply tap and hold and drag and drop the application wherever you want. And like I said, in real time, it switches it for you. Okay, so you can do it either on the actual My Watch application, or you can do it right on your Apple Watch. By the way, if you want to take a screenshot of your Apple Watch, whatever is showing up right then and there, you simply have to press and hold these 2 buttons at the same time, and that's going to take a screenshot, and the screenshot will be saved on your iPhone's camera roll. Just remember that. And that is what it will look like on your iPhone. And one more thing I want to show you guys is if you go into your Messages application, and if you tap on any one of these guys, as you know, you can force touch to respond to somebody. Make sure you firmly press the screen. And from here you can choose emojis. The one thing that you should know with the emojis, you can change the color of these guys by simply, again, firmly pressing on the emoji. There we go. We got the yellow, the red. You can do the same thing with the heart. Got a blue heart, you got a purple heart, and then when you're ready, you can send it right over. Again, speaking of text messages, the other thing is when you go into your text messages and you want to respond to somebody, you can either firmly press and hold, and that brings up the reply option, or you can swipe up, and that brings up the reply option. Over here, you've got these preset text messages that you can send. You can say things like thanks, and as soon as you tap that, that goes straight to your friend. Now, you can create these custom presets by yourself on your My Watch application. Again, go to My Watch app on your iPhone, go to Messages, and at the bottom over here, go into the default replies, and from here you can fill these things right over here. So let's say ASD, right? So now that is actually an available quick response. And if you go over here, and if I swipe up, quick reply, here's ASD that I just added. And if you click that, it goes over to your friend immediately. Now when you go into your app drawer on the Apple Watch, you'll see that you have this world symbol. If you tap this, it's going to take you into your world clock. And from here you have all these different cities that you can add. Now how do you add these cities? First of all, let's tap on one of these guys. And as you can see, you get some more details. Okay? And you can do that with any one of these right here. Now, to add more cities to the world clock over here, you actually have to go into the clock application of your iPhone. Okay? And then from here, you do plus and just pick any city. And that city now is going to show up right over here. Accra, right over here. Okay? So this is the only way, as of yet, to add world clocks to your Apple Watch. You have to use your iPhone, the clock application. Just remember that. And of course, I did skip some basic tips over here. When you pull the glances up from the watch face interface, remember, if you're wearing this on your wrist, which I'm not doing right now, and if you have the glance for the heart rate monitor enabled on your phone, which is right over here, so let's do the heartbeat, okay? You can actually just tap this button and it's going to monitor your heart rate as long as you're wearing the watch on your wrist. And one more tip, to toggle back and forth between two apps, all you have to do is double press the crown twice, quickly. So it's going to take you back into the app you were previously in, and if you tap it again, it's going to take you right back to your watch face. Okay, so in this way, you can toggle back and forth between two apps. Very low level of multitasking, but it's there. Now we know that you can control the music application on your iPhone using your Apple Watch through the glances right over here. Okay, so what if you wanted to save music onto your Apple Watch? Now the Apple Watch doesn't have a lot of space. Well, what you can do is you can go to your My Watch application, you can go to music, and from here you can create a playlist limit of 1 gigabytes, 2 gigs, or whatever tolerance you have for wasting space, and you can sync a playlist. So if you're in your music app, you can create a playlist, and then you can come back here and you can sync that playlist to your watch. When you do that, you do not need your iPhone at all to listen to music. However, if you want to listen to that synced music, you do need a Bluetooth headset connected to your Apple Watch. Sounds complicated, but that's how it works as of now. Now, as you know, the biggest thing about the Apple Watch is it serves you notifications that you receive on your phone. So it's kind of like a hub, a smaller form of your iPhone to give you quick glances of information you receive on your iPhone. So it's very important that you understand you can customize those notifications. And if you tap on notifications over here, you can customize every single notification. Now, these are what I would call the premier apps right over here. So if you go into Mail, you simply tell the phone to mirror my iPhone. So whatever happens on my iPhone, I want to be notified as far as my Mail application is concerned. You can do custom. With the custom, you can actually disable the alerts or show the alerts. And then from there, you can choose which email addresses do you want to be alerted for. So as you can see, the world is off, the iCloud account is off, and my Saki Tech email address is also off. But the VIPs are on, so I can turn these on as well. So if there's a notification, I want to receive a sound and haptic feedback on that Mail application. Again, I'm just going to mirror the iPhone, but you can do this with everything, with the messages, mirror the iPhone, or customize your notification settings. So this is what's going to appear on your phone when you do custom, okay? So you're not going to get sound when you get a message. You will see an alert, meaning you will see a notification, and you will get haptic feedback, but there's going to be no sound. That's how you customize each individual notification. If you scroll down, these are all the apps that are installed on my phone. So do you want notifications for the dictionary app? Sure, why not? So if the dictionary app sends me a notification on the iPhone, it's going to pop right on my watch. So make sure you familiarize yourself with these things. They're very important and very useful. And the other thing is, if you're actively using your iPhone, and if you get a notification, it's not going to show up on your watch, okay? And which makes sense, that would be redundant. So if I'm playing with my phone right now and I get a text message, I'm not going to get an alert on my watch. There's no need, alrighty? Just remember that. But if your phone is turned off, it's in your pocket, and you're wearing your watch, that's when you get the notifications. Alright, so that brings us to the end of this video. Hit that thumbs up button if you like this video. Subscribe to my channel for more videos to come, and I'll see you guys the next time. Saki out.